goldies, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to day 6 of Sweet Colorful Christmas. Now, before we get started with the picture that we're going to color, I wanted to show you what we did last time. We did finish up this picture in Sherry Baldy's Warm Christmas Nights, and we finished up this picture here. What I did is I colored this with the polychromos, and I put stickles in different places here, like on her boots and on the decorations and stuff here. And then I did a pastel background with my pan pastels. Now, when I went off camera, the white space with the pencils was bugging me just a little bit, so I took a Prismacolor blender marker and just kind of worked a little bit on some of the places here, just to try to maybe soften up the white stuff, you know, that comes in between the color with this Create Space paper, because I like a more smooth look. I really don't like the white stuff coming through. So instead of getting out the Gamsel, I just grabbed the Prismacolor blender marker because it was a little bit more convenient to do that. But you know, when you do that, just make sure that you have something on the back of your page, because when you do that, it does kind of show through on the next side of the paper, so you don't want to have anything rub off on your next image or anything. So that is what we did for the last 2 episodes of Sweet Colorful Christmas. We started it on day 4, and then we finished it for day 5. So that is what we did. Now I'm going to show you what we're going to be coloring today. We are going to be coloring out of Tir Na Nollag by Edwina McNamee. And I was looking through the book, and I came across this picture with the little birds carrying the bag, you know, I think with the gift in there, and the little candy canes and gifts on the ground right there. And this is just so darn cute. I totally wanted to color this. So we're going to color this today, and what we're going to be coloring with today is we are going to be breaking out our Lyra Rembrandt pencils. Now, I got these a while back ago, before I left for Leader Dog to go get my new dog. For those of you that may be new to my channel, I have a visual impairment, and I am so visually impaired that I require a guide dog to get from point A to point B. So I go to a place called Leader Dogs for the Blind in Rochester, Michigan, and that's where I gotten all of my dogs. So I came home with my 4th one. I've had Leader Dogs since 1992. And so my 4th one here makes, this one here that I have here makes number 4. His full name is Alexander Graham Bell. We call him Alex or Alexander. And I have my retired one here as well, Caleb. Both Caleb and Alex are golden retrievers. And I love dogs. I mean, I love animals. I love dogs. But I am definitely a golden retriever snob. So one day when I was talking with Anne from A Colorful Life, we were dual testing the live stream feature on Facebook, and so I said, you know what, you got your fruit bats, I need to find something to call the folks that come over to watch me. And so the golden retrievers just kind of popped into my head. So I'm like, you know what, I'm such a golden retriever snob, I want everybody to be my little golden retriever. So we kind of shortened it to Goldies. So now everybody's my little Goldies. I kind of thought, I was kind of thinking later on, and I'm like, you know what, I like the Smurfs too, so everybody could be Smurfs, but not everybody likes Smurfs. So, but who can resist a cute little golden retriever? So, and yeah, so everybody here is my little Goldies, yay. So that is how that came into being. But anyway, like I said, we're going to break out these Lyra Rembrandts. Now, as I said, I got these before I went to Leader Dog. That was in September, and I've not really played with them too much, but a lot of people have told me that these work great on the Create Space paper, so we're going to try it in this Tir Na Nollag book and just see how we do. But there are 72 pencils in here, and let me just go ahead and show you everything. So now I don't have these in another pencil case yet. I still just have them in the regular box here. But here is tray number 1. And then here is tray number 2. Now, the pencils themselves, they're a wooden pencil, and the color is on the barrel, or not on the barrel, but on the back of the pencil right there. Let me get another one so you guys can see that just a little bit better, because that one's a little bit lighter. So, as you can see on the back of the pencil, you get a little color thingy right there. Now, I've not really swatched these out. I will be doing a review on these pencils at some point, but before I actually do the review in my Pencilmania series, I do have a color pencil review series called Pencilmania, because I am definitely a colored pencil gal. I'm a self-proclaimed color pencil hoe because pencils are my go-to choice to color with. I know a lot of people like markers, and that's great, but I am a pencil gal through and through. So I have many sets of colored pencils, and these are going to be on the Pencilmania series, but before I put those on there, I usually like to swatch stuff out and go from there. But these pencils are a little bit lighter weight in the hand. They're not quite as heavy-duty substantial as like polychromos, but it's nice because on here it's got the Lyra Rembrandt name, but also you get the name of the color on the pencil too, which is great, because that is always very helpful. So we're gonna color with these Lyras today, and we're gonna see how we like them in the CreateSpace paper. So, and also, you know, before I actually review the pencils, I like to try them on different papers and stuff, and that way I get a little bit of a better understanding about how they work, and then I can, you know, and then it just, it reflects into what I tell you guys in the reviews. So I like to play with them a little bit actually before I, you know, take the time to review them. So there's the Lyras. Now we're going to go ahead and get started on our book. Now, as just a little disclaimer, I always like to get this out there, especially for new people that have showed up to my channel. As I have explained, I do have a visual impairment, so I'm coloring with a visual impairment, which means that I have to get pretty close to my work so I can see what the heck I am doing. So just keep that in mind. I try to keep my head out of the way as much as possible, but you're going to see part of my face in the video probably, and I try to keep it where you guys can actually see what I'm coloring. But you know, we just do the best we can with it, and thank you all for sticking around to watch. All right, so let me go grab our picture and some colors, and I will be right back. All right then, so I grabbed these two colors here. Now one is light blue, and then this darker one is called Paris blue. So we're gonna work on the birds, and then I'll probably grab something a little bit darker for some of this other stuff, but we're gonna work on these little birds here. But before we do that, we're gonna have a little bit of a laughing session here now. I love silly, crazy, silly little Christmas songs, and so I just got done watching Anne's video, and she was talking about just stuff that people eat around Christmas time that is just really gross, like and she was saying that she doesn't like chocolate covered cherries, and but there's a lot of people that don't like fruitcake. And so as I was listening to her talk about her mom baking this fruitcake that she puts rum in, and it's actually pretty good, I got to thinking about this one little song that I had totally forgot about. And so as I thought about this, I just totally started cracking up. And I am a member of this one karaoke website called Sing Snap, and I don't know if they still have the song on there, but there's this one song called Fruitcake Makes Me Puke. And it is by Bill Engvall, and now Bill Engvall is this country western kind of singer comedian sort of guy, and he does these silly songs. Like there's this one song that he did called Here's Your Sign, and that one just totally cracked me up. But he and this buddy wrote this Fruitcake Makes Me Puke song. And so anyway, we had a little contest around Christmas time one year on Sing Snap, and it was kind of like a, well, it wasn't really a contest, but it was kind of like a just for fun thing. And so I got assigned to sing Fruitcake Makes Me Puke in the style of Porky Pig. And I tell you what, like I laughed my way all the way through that thing. And the girl that was running it, you know, she was like, "Oh my gosh, Sharon, I love you. That was awesome." So it was pretty funny. Now, so I'm going to show you this song. Now, it doesn't have a pretty little tune. Now, those of you that know me know that I'm a classically trained singer, and so I kind of sing the traditional way. But this song here doesn't really have a pretty little tune. It's kind of one of those sort of sung, spoken kind of thing here. And so I'm going to do my best with this, but I'm going to end up probably just cracking up all the way through this because it is just so stinking funny. So I'm going to grab my iPad, and we're going to get to the words here. So anyway, it goes something like this. Every year at Christmas time, my friends all like to bake. They make cookies, rolls, and bread, and ham and pie. And for some weird reason, they all send me a fruitcake. When I tell them that I ate it, it's a lie. I use them as an anchor on my boat out on the lake. I've made barbells for my cousins Merle and Luke. But if I try to eat some, my intestines start to quake because fruitcake makes me puke. Fruitcake makes me puke. It happens every time I eat it, so I know it's not a fluke. Fruitcake makes me puke. That's the one thing about Christmas that no one can dispute, because fruitcake makes me puke. I keep one in my office as a handy paperweight. I hear they're used as hammers in Dubuque. But when I try to eat some, I can't get off the plate. I can't get it off the plate, 'cause fruitcake makes me puke. Or as Porky Pig would say, fruitcake makes me puke. Fruitcake makes me puke. It happens every time I eat it, so I know it's not a fluke. Fruitcake makes me puke. That's the one thing about Christmas that no one can dispute, because fruitcake makes me puke. And the main thing about fruitcake that I have found, it looks the same way coming up as it does going down. Fruitcake makes me puke. It happens every time I eat it, so I know it's not a fluke. Fruitcake makes me puke. That's the one thing about Christmas that my family can't dispute. Fruitcake makes me puke. And then he goes on to say something like, and then he goes on to say something like, oh, thanks for the fruitcake. Yeah, no, I love them. And then he kind of says, oh man, another fruitcake? What am I gonna do with this thing? Oh, geez, another fruitcake. So that... that just cracks me up. I can't help it. I totally cannot help it, you guys. All right. All right, time to color. All right, let's go ahead and try to zoom in just a little bit so that we can get to our little birdies here. Okay. So, let's go ahead and see what we got. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take the light blue, and I'm just going to make sure that I am in frame, which I am not. Okay. Okay, hopefully everybody can see that. Move the iPad out of the way. So, the age-old question, what is everyone coloring? And does anybody have this book? And if so, have you started coloring in it yet? Yes. So this is out of Tir Na Nollag by Edwina McNamee. And what's really cool about this book is that there's duplicate images in here, but the first set is on just a regular background, but then the second set is on a black background like this. So I thought that this would really make the colors pop just a little bit. And so far, this is just the light blue that I've used in these Lyras. So far, the color seems to really lay down very nicely. And I'm using a pretty light hand. I'm not really pressing down on it very much at all. So today is Tuesday, but by the time this gets uploaded to you, it will be Wednesday, because I will release it for Wednesday morning. So this is day number 6 for Sweet Colorful Christmas. Okay. And so for days 4 and 5, I did the Sherry Baldy picture. I did not do anything for day 2 and 3 because we had concerts for that whole weekend. I'm in a choral group, and so on Saturday and Sunday, our weekend was very, very filled up with concerts, and so I didn't get any recording in. So I do apologize for that, but it just couldn't be helped. Just couldn't be helped at all. So we're just going to see how these things shade and layer and stuff when we go in here with the Paris blue. Okay. I'm just going to outline the feathers just a little bit. Just kind of the line between it. So anyway, I did record for Monday, and I did record for today, and then this video will be up for tomorrow, which will be Wednesday. I'm not sure that I'd be able to consistently get something up every day, just because now, for myself, because, again, I'm going to call upon my visual impairment for this, but what I do when I make videos is I put them through a lot of editing, because there's times where, like, I'll have a big pause or something, like if I'm looking for a color, and so I don't want to bore you guys with that. So what I do is I will edit those parts out. So I actually go through and I put the video clips into my video editor, and so I actually go through and I watch the video all the way through, because I need to find the places to actually edit out. And so because I do that, you know, because I just don't stick them together and just slap it up there on YouTube, I do do some editing to actually make it more watchable for you guys. It takes me a while to do. You know, not only do I have to edit it, but then I have to render it. And then I have to, and then I put it through a file converter program. That way it makes the file into what's called an MP4, which is more uploadable to YouTube. It makes the files a little bit smaller, so it's more manageable to upload it to YouTube, and so it doesn't take forever and a day, because let me tell you, sometimes even with the format that I put it in, it really takes a long time to upload. So it's not like I can put together a video in half an hour and have it out to you within like 2 hours after that. It takes a while to do. Not only to actually get the video ready, but it can take a while to upload to YouTube as well. So just, so I do, you know, I will try to get something up as frequently as I can. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to consistently get something up for you guys every day. I'll try to do the best I can, but there may be a day here and there that I'm going to have to skip, because this is quite a project to do, and as much as I would love to just sit and color all day, every single day, you know, there's other stuff that I have to take care of too, and so there's going to be days where I'm probably not going to upload as often as I would like. So just please be aware of that, but I will do the best that I can. So I wanted to tell you guys, if you have not seen it already, I have made a new intro for my channel. Now, I have wanted to do an intro for quite a long time, but I also knew that I was going to be the one that was going to have to make it, because I'm like the only one around here that could probably do it. I mean, my husband could probably do it if he learned, but he doesn't really care to do that stuff. If he messes with anything, it's photos. He likes to mess with still photos. He doesn't really care to mess with video very much. And even that, it's been a long time since he's really messed with that. So I don't think he would actually have the patience to make me a video intro. So I knew that it was going to be totally up to me to do. which is fine. You know, it's just, the thing of it is, though, it's just that it's a learning curve, and I had to get some video shots of certain things, you know, that I put in the intro. And not only did I have to get the shots, but then I had to put it together. I had to edit it. I had to add the text to it. So I mean, it took quite a while to do. I was having a few glitches, and mainly it was like user error because, you know, I was trying to learn some new features of my video editing software, which is what I use to do it with. Now, it's a little tricky for me because, like, when I do it through Windows, the video editing software that I use is called Adobe Premiere Elements, and I have version 10. However, if I am on the Mac side of my computer, because I have a Mac, but because I need Windows to do certain things, I partitioned the hard drive, and I was able to install Windows 7 a few years back on this computer. So I was able to do that. So when I'm on the Mac side, I just use iMovie. But when I am on Windows, which is what I use mainly for doing my videos, probably about 90% of my videos are done through Windows, I use Adobe Premiere Elements version 10. And now, if you're wondering about that software, it's a really good software to edit videos, but it's on the pricey side. I think I paid like $100 for the software. And you can get upgraded versions, but you have to actually buy one of the versions to be able to upgrade. And like, if you buy the software outright, like whatever version it's going to be, I think it's going to run you about $100. But it does everything I need. It's paid for itself over the years. I got it, I think, like 5 years ago. And it's definitely paid for itself, because I also use it to edit my videos, like for my Sims channel. For those of you that don't know, I do have another channel, and it's more of a gaming channel because I play my Sims games on there. Like, I'll do Sims gameplays on that channel. And so I've used that video editor for editing my videos over there. I cannot do that on the Mac because Sims doesn't work very well on Mac side. So I got Windows to be able to do that. So anyway, the long and short of it is that I was able to go ahead and make this intro. It took me a while to do, basically because I was trying to learn a few things and I was running into some glitches through my own little fault. But anyway, I've wanted to do an intro I've wanted to have an intro for a long time, but I've been putting it off because I knew that I was going to have issues at first, you know, with trying to learn it. And I just, you know what, like, it's just like, oh my gosh, like, I just don't want to deal with it, Well, then, you know, as I was watching more videos, and like as I was watching Erin from Simple Art for Adults, you know, she's got a cute little intro. And then Anne from Colorful Life got her son to make her an intro. So I said to myself, you know what, I got to get off my dead butt, or in this case, sit on my dead butt and actually get it done. Because, you know what, like, to me, I think it makes it look more professional. And I wanted to do it for a long time. I wanted to have one for a long time. And so seeing the intros from those two ladies' channels, seeing the intro from those two ladies' channels just kind of put a spark under my butt. And so I told myself, you know what, I really need to get it done, because if I don't do it, it's just never going to get done. And I just, you know, I want my channel to look a little bit more professional. And so seeing these two intros from those two ladies, you know, just kind of lit something under me and made me realize that I really had to get something done. And just putting it off just really wasn't going to cut it, because it just wasn't going to get done otherwise. So I do have a new intro for my channel. Those of you that have seen it, I've gotten quite a lot of compliments on it, so thank you to everybody who has said something about that, and I'm going to move my book just a little bit so I can get to these feathers right here. I am sorry to have to move my book, but that is what I'm gonna have to do. So I finally managed to go ahead and just get it done because it needed it. It really did. I had to. I just had to. So thank you to Anne and Aaron indirectly for shaming me into it. Because, like, I mean, they didn't say, hey, Sharon, you need an intro. You know, nobody has said that to me. It's just something that I've realized for a long time. It's just I have needed to just get my butt in gear and actually do it. So Anne and Aaron, thank you for indirectly, I guess, inspiring me or shaming me into doing it, because I'm actually quite happy with how it turned out. It's not bad for my first try at it, and I didn't want something totally overdone or flashy or anything, because to me, having it be really busy can be really distracting, like on the eyes. And so I just wanted something just kind of simple and to the point, where I was just showing a lot of the things that, or some of the things that I like to use in my coloring. So in the intro, you will see my my partial coloring book collection. I showed like one of the shelves that I have my books on, but there's of course a lot more. Well, that's just part of the books that I have. And then I showed my lovely, lovely pan pastels. I love my pan pastel set. I have a 20 set of pan pastels. I totally want to get the whole 80 set because I love them so much. Love, love, love them. So I showed that, and then in a next clip I showed that I was just kind of spreading it over a piece of paper just to put some color down. And then on the last clip was you will see my pencil case with my polychromos, because my polychromos are actually my pencil of choice to go to. They are my absolute favorite pencils in the world so far. So you'll see me flipping through the sleeves of my polychromos case, and that's it. And then I just kind of picked out like a little clip of music to play during it. So that is how I did my intro, and I hope you guys like it. And yes, I do. I hope you guys like it. So that is how my intro came to be. I just had to get myself inspired enough, or find inspiration to actually just take care of it and just do it. I am also making some custom thumbnails for my videos, for, like, you know, when they get uploaded to YouTube. There's thumbnails that, there's like default thumbnails from the video that gets picked, you know, to go onto the video thing. So like when you look at it in your feed, you know, there's thumbnails that kind of depict what the video is, okay? But I've been working on making some custom thumbnails, because again, it looks more professional, and you can actually see what the video is going to be about. Like I have one for Sweet Colorful Christmas, where I just showed, again, I just had a snapshot of a few of my coloring books sitting on my shelf. And then I kind of put text on there that told what it was going to be, you know, Sweet Colorful Christmas with Sweetnightingale. And I also made one for coloring hauls, because I do a lot of hauls on my channel when I can. And I also made one for my coloring gabs. Now I'm still working on some, and I may make some others just to kind of give a little bit of variety. But I'm working on one for the Pencilmania series, as well as coloring book flip-throughs, because I do a lot of flip-throughs of coloring books. So I wanted something, I want something that's going to look more professional, and where you can actually see, where you can actually look at the thumbnail and go, okay, this is a flip-through. I may or may not want to watch it, or, oh gosh, you know, she's got another episode of Coloring Gab up there, great, you know. Or, oh great, Sweet Colorful Christmas. I mean, you'll be able to see it in the title, but having that thumbnail there too, I think helps. And besides, like, it does make it look more professional, and that's, you know, kind of what I'm after. I mean, you know, this channel, of course, is supposed to be a fun, you know, that's why I have this channel, is that I want everybody to have fun, but I also want things to look nice too. I just don't want just a hodgepodge of you know, just different looks and stuff. So that is why I made the intro. That is why I feel that I needed to make the intro. And that is also why I put the, that is also why I am doing the thumbnails for the videos. Yes. Okay, I'm going to come over and do the same thing on this other bird. So let me just kind of move the book just a little bit so we can see what we're doing. Okay, so move the camera just a tad. Okay, so I think I'm gonna color the birds, you know, kind of the same. You don't have to do it that way. You can color your birds any color you want to. But we're gonna start out with some blue on our little birds here. I think I'm just going to color in all of the feathers, and then I'll go back in with a darker color and put in the layers and stuff. So we're just going to color everything with the lighter color first here. Right? Okay. Now I'm just going in with the light blue and doing that. So yeah, that is why, again, you know, that is why I'm doing why I did the intro and why I'm doing the thumbnails, is because I just want things to look nice. And I figured, you know, as long as I was doing the intro, I might as well take care of some of the thumbnails. Now, I use a different program to make the thumbnails. I have Corel Paint Shop Pro 7, I think it is, so it's an older version. My Adobe Premiere Elements is an older version, but you know what, it does the trick. It does everything I need, so I've never felt the need to upgrade. And also my Paint Shop Pro is an older version. Again, I just never upgraded because right now it suffices. It suffices. So if that changes, then I will think about upgrading to a newer version. But for now, it works. And because I've already paid for them, you know, I can download them again if need be. So, but anyway, I use the Corel Paint Shop Pro version 7 to work on my thumbnails. And again, it's a learning curve because I'm still trying to learn all the ins and outs of the different features and stuff that it has on it. But anyway, so I just, I'm probably just going to take a day or an afternoon or something and just do up a bunch of thumbnails and stuff, because it's kind of how I like to do it. Like, I don't like to sit and just do just one and then come back like a day later and do maybe 3. I like to just kind of sit down and get a bunch of it done because it's really not my favorite thing to do. To me, it's a little bit more of a chore. It's kind of a necessity, a necessary chore, but to me it is a chore. It's not something that is enjoyable to me, really, as far as like getting the thumbnails and stuff together. So I just like to just kind of sit down and try to get it all done at once if I can. When I started working on this and when I did the intro, it was was it on Sunday, I think? Yeah, it was on Sunday because I was working on that before I had to go to my concert. So I got the intro done on Sunday. I got a few of the thumbnails done on Sunday. I have more to make, but I will work on that some more this week, I think. So when you guys start seeing more thumbnails up on my channel, that is why. Because I am doing the thumbnails for my videos. And I got my intro done, and I'm actually quite proud of that intro, I have to say. I really like how it turned out. Now, as I was saying in one of my other videos, if anybody is up for a buddy color, please let me know. You can send me an email or send me a message or something. And I've always done my buddy colors, you know, the more traditional way, like, you know, where you just pick a picture from a book. Like you pick a picture and both of you color the same picture. And and do it that way. And then when you're done, you know, you show what you got. Normally when I do them, I film it. I film my version of it and put it up on my channel. However, I like what Anne is going to be doing. You know, Anne from A Colorful Life. She got the idea to actually do like a face-to-face chat or just a voice chat. I think she likes to go face-to-face. So I kind of like that idea. I hadn't really thought of doing it that way before. I've always been kind of like careful about who I give out some of that information to. But if that is something that anybody's interested in, we can do that too. I can put Skype back on my phone, or we could use, I think there's a feature in Facebook Messenger that we could use. So if that is something that anybody's interested in, we can work out that. I hadn't thought of doing it like that before, but I think Anne had a really great idea there. So I will take it and run with it if anybody is interested in doing something like that. So thank you again, Anne. Yes, she comes up with some really cool stuff, I must say, for her little fruit bats. So you guys can just let me know. Or if you just want to do it the traditional way, that is perfectly fine too. We do it how everybody is comfortable. So I'm a little behind with the Facebook group. I haven't been on there in about a day or so, but I will be getting back on there to look at everybody's wonderful pictures, because I totally can't wait to see what everybody has going for Sweet Colorful Christmas. And I'll be putting my stuff up there as well once I get it completed, and even a work in progress I would show too. Like, this is probably going to take several parts to do this picture. But that's okay. No rush on things. We are not running a race here, folks. I'm just going to take and outline this with our Paris blue color. And then I'm just going to come in here. And I'm just doing just some shading and keeping the lighter color like in the middle. You know, where I think maybe the sun is going to hit. Of course, it's like nighttime, according to this picture, I think. So, but we probably may have a full moon, although it doesn't show, but we do have a lot of stars in the sky, it looks like. So I'll probably take gel pens. I have some glitter gel pens, and I could use that for the little stars in the sky here. Glittery gold color, and I think that would look also really pretty on some of these gifts and stuff that we see on the picture. Again, I'm just going to take this and outline it. I want to get these feathers in, and then I think we'll do a little bit more singing. We'll do some serious singing this time, because I got another request. I got another request for Mary Did You Know, which is another Christmas song. Now, our choral group sings a version of it, which is probably going to end up being mostly what I sing, because I'm so used to it. And so I'm sorry if it sounds different than the one that you may remember. I mean, it's still the same song, it's just some of the notes may be a little different. But I want to get this these feathers done here. At least these feathers right here. And then we'll work on these back ones and stuff too. And I'm just going to take the Paris blue and just kind of outline on here just a little bit. Do that on the other side too. Hopefully I'm still in frame, you guys can see that. Trying to keep my head out of the way as much as I can. So, I would still like to know, do you have a favorite Christmas movie? What is it that you like to watch around Christmas time? You know, I remember when I was younger, my gosh, and this was the public networks too. I think they did a lot on cable too, but I remember when I was younger, like constantly they would play It's a Wonderful Life. That movie, you know, with Jimmy Stewart. I mean, just, oh my gosh, they would play that movie so many times. Now, I don't think they do. I think they play it maybe once. And I think you have to have a certain cable channel, I think, to get it. But my gosh, like back in the day, they always played that movie. I was talking with my husband about that the other night. And I said, do you remember when they always constantly played It's a Wonderful Life? Which now they don't do as much anymore. I think maybe people got sick of it. Because, I mean, it seemed like they would play it like every day until Christmas. Like starting in December, like they would play it every day, maybe 2 times a day before Christmas. And I think it just got old for everybody. And I think people just got sick of it. So, all right, well, there is part of our birds. I think that is going to turn out really pretty. We'll get some more colors and we'll color in some more of these feathers and stuff. Yeah, but oh my gosh, look at that. Isn't that pretty? I love how it shades, and these pencils really seem to do good on this paper. Whoever told me this, they were right about that. I'm really liking how these pencils work on this paper. All right, so let's go ahead and get our lyrics up for Mary Did You Know, because I'm a little bit rusty on some of the lyrics. So let me grab that and we'll be right back. Alright, so we got our lyrics here. Now, just as a little warning, I am a YouTube partner, which means I monetize my videos. So I have to kind of be careful, like with copyright stuff. So when I sing these things, I have to kind of break up the phrasing a little bit, either by talking or just through a little pause in time, because what happens is like every video that's uploaded, there's bots that go through it, and if they pick up like any kind of snatches of songs, and I think like if you do over like 10 seconds of a song or something like that, 10 or 15 seconds of a song, it'll pick it up, and then you get like a little third-party content tag thing, and then your video isn't monetized. So and being a YouTube partner, like I've actually got a company that partners me, you know, through YouTube, so I have to kind of watch my little P's and Q's when I do that. So just wanted to kind of get that out there so you guys know that. But I'm going to sing this, and we'll just kind of break up the phrasing just a little bit. So I'm sorry that I can't do like a smooth song, you know, that I have to break it up, but it's just the way it's gonna have to go. All right, so Stephanie requested the song. So now, Stephanie, if this sounds a little different than the one that you're used to, just know that what you're probably going to hear is the version that I'm used to with my choral group that I'm in. So, but anyway, it's the same song. It just may sound a little different, like with the breaks and stuff. All right, so Mary, did you know that your baby boy would someday walk on water? Mary, did you know that your baby boy will save our sons and daughters? Love these little birds. Did you know that your baby boy has come to make you new? Oh. This child that you delivered will soon deliver you. And then we have another verse that's going to go, Mary, did you know that your baby boy will give sight to a blind man? Mary, did you know that your baby boy will calm a storm with his hands? Did you know that your baby boy has walked where angels trod? And when you kiss your little baby, then you kiss the face of God. Mary, did you know? Mary, did you know? So that part may sound a little bit different because like we have in our choral group, like when we do that version, we have like where the sopranos kind of do that part, and then we have like the parts that kind of have harmony. It just sounds really, really nice like once we get it together. It's really cool. Let's see, and then it goes, the blind will see, the deaf will hear, the dead will live again. Okay, and then the next phrase is going to go, the maid will live, the dumb will speak, the praises of the Lamb. Mary, did you know? And then, Mary, did you know that your baby boy is Lord of all creation? Mary, did you know that your baby boy will one day rule the nations? And, did you know that your baby boy is heaven's perfect lamb? And then, this sleeping child you're holding is the great I am. And then this last part is going to go, ooh, Mary, did you know? So that's what I mean. It may sound a little bit different than what you're used to because like there's some extra parts that we have in there with the choral group, but I am so used to that version that that's what you're gonna get. But oh my gosh, like when, I mean, this song isn't really like one of my favorites, but like when we get it together, it sounds really, really, really nice. It sounds very, very nice. So anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and grab some more colors and we'll work a little bit more on this bird. Okay, so we have a magenta, which is this one here. And then the darker one, oops. Okay, so we have a magenta, which is this one right here. And then we have a dark violet, which is this darker one. So we're gonna come up and we're gonna work on these back feathers. I think the blues and the purples would look really pretty together. And then I think we'll separate it by red when we get to that little part right here, which I think will look really pretty. So let's go ahead and see how this is gonna look. I think that we're gonna have something going really good here. Okay, so I'm just gonna make sure that I'm in frame. Okay. So we're just gonna come up and I'm going to put a light layer of this here, and I'll come in with the dark violet and we'll shade it and see how it's going to look. I really like how these lyras are performing on this paper. I think, whoops, I think it's going to look really pretty. And I like how they perform on this paper. It seems like it lays down really nice on here. And you don't really have to press down or be very heavy-handed with these pencils. I think you can do really nice work with these. I'm going to press down on the dark violet just a little bit because I want a little bit more color variance here. Now, of course, you could go in with Gamsol oil, and you could what do you call it? You could blend it in a little bit better, or a little bit more if you want. If you don't like the white spaces in here. Although I think with these pencils you don't get as much white space in here that you get with like how you would get with maybe another softer leaded pencil. So I'm just going to put in just a light layer here. And then we'll go in with the dark purple. Or with the dark violet. I'm just going to outline the lines just a little bit. Whoops. So, I hope everybody is doing well. Everybody's doing pretty good here. Even Turbo seems to be a little bit better today. He's not sneezing as much, nor does he seem to be gurgling as much when he breathes. So it kind of comes and goes, like during the day. Sometimes, like there's days where it will be very noticeable. And there's days where he'll be almost normal. And what I mean by normal is that he like you wouldn't know that he had this, like you wouldn't figure that he had this unless you knew that he did. I mean, like, if you look at his nose, I mean, you know that something's wrong with him because, like, he's got one nostril that's definitely bigger than the other one. And that's because, like, he's got a lot of bone loss in his nose now because of the cancer. So the tumor, you know, is kind of, it sounds really gross, but the tumor is kind of, like, eating through his, like, nose. Or eating through the bones, like, in his nose. So one nostril is going to look a lot bigger than the other. And unfortunately, there's nothing that we can do about it. He's got the one eye, and it's affected his left side, and he's got the one eye that waters all the time. It's been doing that for quite a long time, and it's just another side effect of what he's got. So unfortunately, it's just the way it's going to be. Nothing we can really do about it. Okay, I'm just going to try to take the darker color and put it down first. Okay, I get those stupid telemarketer calls, and it drives me absolutely freaking bonkers. Absolutely hate it. Absolutely hate it. So, I don't pick up the phone when that happens. I just let it ring. And if they don't leave a message, oh well. And even if they did, like, I'm not going to answer a telemarketer call, you know, where they're trying to sell things. Now, if it was coloring books, well, then we'd have to have a little talk about that. But then, of course, you'd still have to be careful because with telemarketers, like, there's always a catch. well, I shouldn't say the telemarketers themselves, but for the company that they work for, there's always a catch. So you have to kind of be careful. Like you could go, woo, coloring books, but you know, they probably want you to subscribe to a monthly thing. And I don't think there's ever been a telemarketer that's sold coloring books. It's usually they want you to donate to something, or they want you to buy insurance, or they want you to buy, I don't know. They want you to do windows and siding, you know. Or I've had ones where they clean, they're carpet cleaners. They want you to have your carpets professionally done. So I just don't even pick any of that stuff up. Of course, where I went to college, you know, they call sometimes and want me to donate to their fund. But it was a private college that I went to, and you know what? They got enough of my money when I was in school. Because like for that last year, like probably about for the last year and a half, I didn't get any financial aid because I was married at the time, and because like we had investments and stuff. They said that we made too much for me to have any financial aid, so my husband and I had to cough everything up for the last like year and a half of my schooling. So I figured they got enough of my money. It's probably a wrong attitude to take, but eh. And I know like if you donate, like you get certain perks, you know, to stuff. And but like we don't go to like any of the plays or anything over there, because it's quite a drive. Like it's quite a hike, you know, for us to actually get there and do something. And if we did something like that, we'd have to stay overnight, which can also run you into some money. I mean, they have concerts and stuff over there. Don't get me wrong. They have a lot of great stuff over there. It's great for the arts and entertainment kind of thing. You know, they have great drama. They have great music, you know. But for us to actually do anything like that, we'd have to kind of make like a couple of day, like a 2-day thing of it to actually do anything, you know, to make it worth our while. And I know that like if you donate, like you get certain perks, like probably some better seating and so forth, or first pick of like whatever tickets, you know, kind of thing. You know, if you donate to certain things that they have. But we don't do that, you know. It's just not, I don't think I've ever even really been back there since you know, after I graduated. And I know like after I left, they did a lot of revamping in the School of Music. Because when I was there, you know, it's old buildings, you know, it's you know, it was founded like back in the early 1900s, and so the buildings were old, you know, the entrances were old. It wasn't very good. It definitely wasn't like handicapped accessible. So if somebody was in a wheelchair, they'd have a heck of a time. So they totally like revamped the music building, the School of Music. And then I think they also did some other stuff too, like in some of the other buildings, which is nice. But I've not been back to see it. I've not been back to my old alma mater. So that's just how it is. And that's the way the color goes down, right? Oh my goodness me. So yep. I don't know. What do you guys think of that? I probably should have picked maybe a lighter purple for the lighter color, but that's okay. It still shades pretty nicely. Still make sure that I'm in frame. I hope I am. Okay, yeah, I seem to be. So, I think after I get done with this video, I'm going to sit down in front of my TV and I am going to watch some Different Strokes. Now, Different Strokes is this show that, it was a sitcom that was on back in the late 70s and early 80s, and it had Gary Coleman and Conrad Bain and Todd Bridges in it, and it was about a wealthy New York man who adopted these two black kids after their mother died. She had made him promise that he would look after her kids after she was gone. So Mr. Drummond, he adopted these two kids, Willis and Arnold. And so this show had, I think, 8 seasons in it. And Gary Coleman, he kind of was, you know, he's the one that played Arnold. And he was always the one that went, "What you talking about, Willis?" And which was a definite trademark, you know, back in that time, and people just loved that. So he would do that like every episode. And sometimes, most of the times it would be Willis, sometimes it would be, "What you talking about, Dad?" Or like other people, you know, but it was just like you would always hear that every episode, you know. And so anyway, that was always one of my favorite shows. And finally, season 5 and season 6 came out on DVD. So I got them a couple weeks ago. I guess it's been a couple of weeks. I got them, and I've not had a chance to sit down and watch it all the way through, just because we have been so busy. But after I get this video made, I'm going to sit down and watch me some Different Strokes. I'm going to grab probably a cup of coffee because it's still during the day, so I'm going to grab myself a cup of coffee. And I'm going to sit down and watch me some Different Strokes. Different Strokes for different folks. Because I was kind of in the mood to watch some of that. And John, he has a meeting tonight. It has to do with the Lions Club. He's on the car show committee. We do a car show every year, and so he is on the car show committee. And so they've been having meetings like every week. So he has to go to that tonight, so which gives me some time to actually just sit down and watch this. Because a lot of times, like, we don't have the TV on at night. Because, you know, John, he's not much of a TV watcher, although sometimes, like, when I have this on, he'll watch it. Or, like, if I'm watching something like All in the Family, then he'll watch it with me. But, a lot of the times we just don't have the TV on at night. Because we both kind of like it quiet at night. We just want to relax with our glass of wine. And so that is what we do. So during the day, like if I get some spare time, I can sit down and I can watch all of that, which I am going to do today. Yes, yes, yes. So I'm just doing like everything in these little feathers here. So sorry I'm silent for just a minute. I'm just trying to get into these little details right here. So anyway, I really like this Tir Na Nollag book. This seems to be a real popular one that people have been getting this year. And so I'm glad that I got this one because I really like it. And there's just so many cute pictures in here to color. Okay. All right, so there's some of the feathers done on that bird. So I tell you what we're gonna do is, what time is it getting to be here? I'm going to go ahead and stop this video. We'll continue with this bird over here in the next video. And we'll do these feathers over here. And we'll try to finish up at least the birds for the next video. And then I'll come back in with some gel pens and work on these little stars and stuff. And we'll go from there. Okay guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video. And I hope you enjoyed watching me color in these little birds to start these little birds. And so go ahead and hit that like button. Give us a big thumbs up. Hit the heck out of that like button. I think I said that. And you know, I think I'm just going to turn these pencils this way so that I know that these are the ones that I have to grab in here. So go ahead and give this a thumbs up and hit that like button. Oh, that's not going to work. Hit that like button and leave a comment and tell me what you think. Well, I'm just going to have to remember which ones that they are. Yeah, I should be able to remember. All right. So just go ahead and hit the like button. As I said, leave a comment and tell me what you think. Don't forget to hit that bell as you are subscribing, because then you will be notified when I upload new videos. And you all have a great day. And keep posting your pictures to the Facebook group. And if you have not joined the Facebook group yet, go ahead and send in a request and I will get that taken care of. So here is what we have so far with our little birds. Let me zoom out so we can see. Okay, so here's what we have with the birds so far. Oops, get that cardstock in there. Okay, that's what we got so far with the birds. Okay, so as I said, leave a comment, tell me what you think, hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, but hit that bell while you were doing that so you'll be notified when I upload new videos. You all have a great day. And we will see you in the next video and in the next episode of Sweet Colorful Christmas. Okay, bye my little goldies.